A violent fight broke out on board a Carnival cruise line. Chairs were flying, fists were flying, and of course, people got banned for life. But that's not the craziest part. Just a few days later on board a Royal Caribbean cruise, a crew member sprung into action and saved guests from potential poolside disaster. And we're just getting started. Let's dive in. Hey, I'm Jordan with Beyond the Dock. Welcome back. Today is Friday, the 13th of June, 2025, and we've got your cruise news for this week. Our first story is coming from Carnival. Now, there have been a lot of reports recently of fights breaking out on Carnival cruise ships. And this is another one of those on board Carnival Sunrise. It was a 4-night cruise just heading back from Half Moon Cay. About 5:30 p.m., a fight broke out near one of the bars. A passenger threw a chair. All this was caught on video, and we don't know what the fight was about, but security got involved and pulled the people apart from each other. One of the passengers was confined to his quarters with security sitting outside of his door 24/7 until they got back to the port. Authorities were notified, but no arrests have been made or charges filed as far as we know. So Carnival has a zero tolerance for violence. If you get in a fight, you will be banned for life, and this was no exception. Fights do happen, but it's not as common as it might seem. There are many cruises that Carnival goes on that are weekend cruises, and there are no fights. But they do happen sometimes, and there's a lot of speculation as to the reasoning. It's not Carnival's fault. They have that zero tolerance. If you get in a fight, you will not cruise on Carnival ever again, but they still happen. And it could be because of the weekend cruises. They're cheaper, people drink a lot, and altercations happen. Carnival has been trying to combat this. They remind everybody of the zero tolerance policy. Everyone gets a letter that says there's no tolerance for violence. If you cause any issues or discomfort, then you risk getting fined and possibly banned. So there haven't been any reports of any serious injuries, luckily. It's just really sad because you go on a cruise for fun. Sometimes it's like the first cruise. This is maybe a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, or once in every few years you get this chance, and you just can't control your temper or you drink too much. Everyone's there to have fun, just relax and have a good time. So our next story is coming from Royal Caribbean. This was on board Symphony of the Seas. It was trying to position itself to Port Canaveral at its first stop on the itinerary. A waiter at Coastal Kitchen, Nitin Kumar, noticed some cracks forming on the window. And so he immediately ran down to the poolside to make sure everyone was clear, to get all the passengers away, because there are chairs directly under the window at the poolside. So he ran down there, got everyone cleared out, and witnesses are saying within 15 to 20 seconds of him getting there and making sure the area was clear, the window came crashing down. So of course, he's being called a hero because it likely wouldn't have killed anybody because it's tempered glass, so it shatters, but it would have hurt somebody and would have cut them up. And it could have been a pretty bad situation. And luckily, he thought quickly, saw cracks forming, and knew immediately go warn people. Because you wonder, sometimes if you see cracks, you don't immediately think, oh no, that window is going to break and fall down. You just think, oh, there's cracks forming. So I'm glad that he was quick on his feet and ran to warn everybody. And for those wondering, he did receive an award. He got the Royal Way Hero Award. And I don't know if he gets any monetary reward as well, but probably, because they do give bonuses for reviews and positive feedback and things like that. So this is a great reminder that crews trained well. They're out there for your safety and protection, but also to make sure you have a good time. And a crashing window on top of you would not have been a good time. So kudos to him. So our next story is coming out of the Dominican Republic. The Puerto Plata region is experiencing a boom of cruise ships. The Dominican Republic has already seen over 300 cruise ships in the first 5 months of this year, and it's just going to continue to growing. Between Amber Cove and Taino Bay, they can host up to 3 ships at one time. There are many itineraries that stop at the Dominican Republic just because there's so much to do there. It's a beautiful island, and I really enjoy visiting. I'm actually going to be there next week, as long as there's no hurricanes. Cruises really do help out the local economy, obviously. The Dominican Republic just recently announced they're going to build out a new cruise port in Santo Domingo. And this is on the southern part of the Dominican Republic, whereas Puerto Plata is on the northern end of the island. So that way, with the different cruises in the area, you could even have one cruise that stops at both places. The port is expected to open at the end of this year, and they expect it will bring in over 500,000 visitors annually. This will also help to lessen the stress from the traffic on the northern part, from all the cruises that stop there, and also give people more opportunities to see a larger part of the island. The Dominican Republic is taking tourism seriously, and they want to improve and offer a better experience for everyone. Now for your weather report. There are a couple of storms off the coast of Mexico in the Pacific and Central America. There's a tropical depression and a tropical disturbance. Both of them have a low chance of increasing and turning into a cyclone within the next 7 days, but there's always that chance. They're also not expected to make landfall, and the Atlantic looks clear for the next 7 days at least. No potential for cyclones forming along in the Atlantic and the Caribbean. So good news for traveling for the next 7 days. So that's your cruise news for this week. Which cruise line would you trust more after this? Drop your answer in the comments. And if you've ever experienced any wild and crazy cruise behavior, drop your story down below in the comments. I'd love to hear about it. So be sure to like and subscribe and check us out on our next video. We'll have a lot more coming up here shortly after this cruise on board the Norwegian Aqua coming up next week. And until then, we'll see you as we venture beyond the dock. Happy cruising.